The cosmic lottery. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, humanity had always considered itself alone. That is, until the day the sky lit up with a brilliance that outshone the stars themselves. It wasn't a supernova or a gamma-ray burst. It was a lottery ticket, and Earth had just won the cosmic jackpot. Dr. Samantha Chen, lead astrobiologist at NASA's Exoplanet Exploration Program, was the first to notice the anomaly. She sat bolt upright in her chair, spilling lukewarm coffee across her desk as she stared at the readings flooding her monitors. The signal was unlike anything she'd ever seen, a perfect, repeating pattern that screamed artificial origin. "Holy shit," she whispered, her fingers flying across the keyboard. "Holy shit." Her exclamation brought her colleague, Dr. Rajesh Kapoor, running from the adjacent lab. "Sam, what's wrong?" Samantha could barely contain her excitement. "Raj, look at this. It's impossible, but it's real." Rajesh leaned over her shoulder, his eyes widening as he took in the data. Are those prime numbers?" "Not just any prime numbers," Samantha said, her voice trembling. "It's a sequence. One that couldn't possibly occur naturally. Raj, this is it. This is first contact." As the two scientists stared at each other in awe, klaxons began to blare throughout the facility. Emergency protocols kicked in, and within minutes, the President of the United States was being briefed on the situation. Across the globe, similar scenes played out. Observatories from Chile to China picked up the signal, and governments scrambled to make sense of this new reality. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe, and the implications were staggering. But the signal was just the beginning. As Earth's most powerful radio telescopes focused on the source of the transmission, they detected something else, an object moving at impossible speeds, on a direct course for our solar system. The next 72 hours were a blur of activity. World leaders convened emergency sessions, militaries went on high alert, and the public alternated between excitement and panic. Social media exploded with theories, memes, and hastily organized "Welcome Alien Overlords" parties. Dr. Chen found herself thrust into the spotlight, briefing a joint session of Congress on the potential implications of first contact. As she stood at the podium, facing a sea of anxious faces, she took a deep breath. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, "we stand at the precipice of the most significant moment in human history. The signal we've received is not just a greeting, it's an invitation. An invitation to join a galactic community we never knew existed." She paused, letting her words sink in. "But we must proceed with caution. We don't know the intentions of our visitors, nor do we understand their technology or culture. What we do know is this: they are advanced far beyond our current capabilities, and they have chosen Earth, out of all the planets in the galaxy, to make contact with." As Samantha continued her speech, laying out the potential risks and rewards of this cosmic encounter, a young Air Force lieutenant named Jack Harper sat in the back of the room, his mind racing. He'd joined the military to see the world, maybe even space if he was lucky. But this was beyond his wildest dreams. Jack's thoughts were interrupted by a commotion at the door. A harried-looking aide rushed in, whispering urgently to the Speaker of the House. The Speaker's face paled, and he quickly scribbled a note, passing it to the President. Samantha, still at the podium, faltered as she saw the President's expression change. Is everything all right, Mr. President?" The President stood, his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. "Dr. Chen, members of Congress, I've just received word. The object we detected, it's entered Earth's orbit." A collective gasp filled the chamber. Jack felt his heart racing, a mix of fear and excitement coursing through him. This was it, the moment everything changed. As if on cue, the lights in the chamber flickered and died, plunging the room into darkness. Panicked murmurs arose, but they were quickly silenced by a new sound, a low, resonant hum that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Then, in the center of the room, a point of light appeared. It grew, expanding into a shimmering disk of energy that pulsed with otherworldly colors. From within this portal, a figure emerged. It was tall, easily 8 feet in height, with a body that seemed to shimmer and shift, as if not quite solid. Its head was elongated, with no visible eyes or mouth, yet somehow, everyone in the room knew it was looking at them. The being raised a limb, not quite an arm, but close enough, and a voice resonated in everyone's mind simultaneously. "Greetings, children of Earth. We are the Zorax, shepherds of the cosmic nexus. Your world has been chosen." The room erupted into chaos. Security personnel rushed to surround the president and key officials, while others trained their weapons on the alien visitor. But Jack, driven by an impulse he couldn't explain, found himself pushing through the crowd, moving towards the alien. As he approached, the being turned its attention to him. Jack felt a presence in his mind, vast and ancient, yet somehow curious. "You," the alien's voice echoed in his head. "You are different, unafraid. Why?" Jack swallowed hard, aware that every eye in the room was now on him. I've always dreamed of this moment," he said, his voice surprisingly steady. "Of meeting someone from another world, of learning we're not alone." The alien seemed to consider this for a moment. Then, to everyone's shock, it extended its limb towards Jack. "Then you, Jack Harper, shall be our liaison. Through you, we shall learn of humanity. And through us, humanity shall learn of the universe." As Jack reached out to touch the alien's appendage, he knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The cosmic lottery had been won, and Earth's ticket to the stars had just been punched. But as the light from the portal engulfed him and the alien, Jack couldn't help but wonder, what was the price of this cosmic jackpot? And was humanity ready to pay it? The Galactic Exchange Program. As the blinding light faded, Jack Harper found himself in a place that defied description. The congressional chamber had vanished, replaced by a vast, shimmering expanse that seemed to pulse with energy. Beside him stood the Zorax being, its form now more defined, almost crystalline in appearance. "Welcome, Jack Harper of Earth, to the Nexus," the alien's voice resonated in his mind. "This is the crossroads of 1,000 galaxies, where species meet, learn, and grow together." Jack's jaw dropped as he took in the sight. Beings of all shapes and sizes moved through the space, some floating, others walking on what appeared to be solid light. It's incredible," he breathed. The Zorax made a sound that might have been a chuckle. "Your wonder is refreshing, young one. It is why we chose Earth for our next exchange." "Exchange?" Jack asked, tearing his eyes away from the cosmic spectacle. "Yes, the Galactic Exchange Program. It is how we integrate new species into the cosmic community. And you, Jack Harper, will be Earth's first participant." Before Jack could process this information, a new voice caught his attention. "Hey, Earthling, over here." Turning, Jack saw what appeared to be a blue, tentacled creature waving at him from behind what looked like a floating food stand. As he approached, the smell hit him, a mix of cotton candy and motor oil. "First time in the Nexus, huh?" the creature said, its voice sounding oddly like a surfer dude from California. "Name's Blorp. Want a quantum quesadilla? It's got flavors from 12 dimensions." Jack, still reeling from the sudden change in his circumstances, found himself nodding. Sure, why not?" As Blorp prepared the interdimensional snack, Jack turned to the Zorax. "So, what exactly does this exchange program entail?" The crystalline being shifted, its form refracting light in mesmerizing patterns. "You will spend 1 Earth year learning about the various species and cultures that make up our galactic community. In return, representatives from other worlds will visit Earth to learn about humanity." Jack's eyes widened. "Wait, you're sending aliens to Earth? Is that safe?" The Zorax's form pulsed with what might have been amusement. "Do not worry. All participants are thoroughly vetted and trained. Though, there have been some amusing mishaps in the past." Just then, Blorp handed Jack his quantum quesadilla. Here you go, Earthling. Careful, the seventh-dimensional spices can be a bit surprising. Jack took a cautious bite and immediately felt his taste buds explode with sensations he couldn't begin to describe. Colors had flavor, sounds became textures, and for a brief moment he swore he could taste the concept of democracy. As he recovered from the culinary experience, Jack noticed a commotion nearby. A group of beings were gathered around what looked like a holographic display, all chattering excitedly. "What's going on over there?" he asked Blorp. The tentacled alien's eyes, all 7 of them, lit up. "Oh man, you're in for a treat. It's the intergalactic meme exchange. It's how different species share their culture's humor and inside jokes." Curious, Jack made his way over to the display. The current meme seemed to be a looping video of what looked like a 6-legged creature repeatedly tripping over its own appendages, set to some kind of pulsing, atonal music. The assembled aliens were howling, or their species equivalent, with laughter. Jack, however, was thoroughly confused. "I don't get it," he admitted to a nearby being that looked like a sentient cloud of gas. The gas being turned to him, its voice sounding like wind through chimes. "Oh, you must be new here. It's hilarious because the Glotnars of Epsilon Eridani have a cultural taboo against even numbers. The poor fellow has 6 legs instead of 5 or 7. Classic comedy." Jack nodded, pretending to understand. He made a mental note to brush up on his xenocultural studies. As the day, if such a concept existed in the Nexus, wore on, Jack found himself introduced to more alien concepts than he could keep track of. He learned about faster-than-light travel. Apparently, the secret was to convince the universe you weren't actually moving. Participated in a telekinesis workshop. He managed to levitate a pencil for a full second before getting a nosebleed, and even sat in on a lecture about the socio-political implications of time travel, which, paradoxically, hadn't been invented yet, but the effects were already being felt. Through it all, the Zorax remained by his side, offering explanations and context. As overwhelming as it all was, Jack couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and wonder. This was everything he'd dreamed of as a kid, staying up late to watch sci-fi movies and gaze at the stars. However, as the initial awe began to wear off, a nagging worry started to grow in the back of Jack's mind. "Hey," he said, turning to the Zorax, "what's happening back on Earth right now? Is everyone okay?" The crystalline being's form shimmered in what Jack was beginning to recognize as a sign of contemplation. "Time flows differently here in the Nexus, but do not worry, Jack Harper. Your world is safe, and preparations are already underway for the arrival of the first alien delegates." Jack's brow furrowed. "And you're sure they'll be welcomed? Humans can be, well, we don't always handle change well." The Zorax's form pulsed with soft light. "It is a challenge all species face when joining the galactic community. But we have faith in humanity's potential, your adaptability, your creativity, your resilience. These are qualities highly valued among the stars." As if to punctuate the Zorax's words, a massive, whale-like creature floated by overhead, singing a hauntingly beautiful song that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of space-time. Jack watched in awe, then turned back to the Zorax with a determined expression. "All right then. I'm ready to learn everything I can. For Earth." The crystalline being's form brightened. "Excellent, Jack Harper. Your journey has only just begun. Now, shall we move on to your first lesson in quantum etiquette? I believe we're just in time for the Schrödinger's cat adoption fair." As Jack followed the Zorax deeper into the wonders of the Nexus, he couldn't help but wonder how his fellow humans were handling their own cosmic culture shock back on Earth. Little did he know, things were about to get very interesting indeed. Alien invasion of pop culture. Back on Earth, the arrival of the first alien delegates had thrown the world into a frenzy of excitement, confusion, and meme-worthy moments. As part of the Galactic Exchange Program, beings from across the cosmos had been assigned to various countries, tasked with learning about human culture while sharing their own. In New York City, a gelatinous blob named Gloops had become an overnight sensation after accidentally absorbing and perfectly replicating a street performer's breakdancing routine in Times Square. #jellyjamming trended worldwide as videos of the undulating alien busting moves spread across social media platforms. Meanwhile, in Tokyo, a hyper-intelligent swarm of bioluminescent insects called the Lumina Collective had taken the gaming world by storm. Their ability to split into multiple entities and control separate characters simultaneously had revolutionized esports, leading to the creation of a new league, Hive Mind Heroes. But it was in a small town in the American Midwest where things really got interesting. Xylox, a towering four-armed being with iridescent scales, had been assigned to Shadow Creek, Iowa, population 2,143. The alien's arrival had initially caused quite a stir, with the local diner hastily adding xenoshakes to their menu, essentially regular milkshakes with food coloring and pop rocks. However, it was Xylox's encounter with high school drama teacher Maggie Thompson that would change everything. Maggie, a passionate but struggling artist, had been trying to drum up interest in the school's annual musical production. When Xylox wandered into auditions out of curiosity, Maggie had a stroke of inspiration. "Xylox," she said, her eyes gleaming with excitement, "how would you like to star in our production of The Wizard of Oz?" The alien tilted its head, blinking its three eyes in confusion. "I am unfamiliar with this Wizard of Oz. Is it a historical document?" Maggie grinned. "Oh, honey, it's so much more than that. It's an American classic." And so began the most ambitious high school musical production in history. Xylox, with its multiple arms and shimmering scales, was cast as a combination of the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Cowardly Lion, a creative decision that would later be hailed as boldly metacritical by pretentious art critics. As news of the production spread, Shadow Creek found itself at the center of a media circus. Reporters from around the world descended on the tiny town, eager to document this unique cultural exchange. The rehearsals became a sensation in their own right. Xylox's attempts to understand human emotions led to some hilariously over-the-top performances, while its literal interpretation of stage directions resulted in it actually flying over the rainbow, much to the surprise of the stagehands and the structural integrity of the school gymnasium. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Some townspeople were wary of the alien's presence, and tensions rose as opening night approached. That's when Maggie decided to take a risk. "Xylox," she said during a particularly grueling rehearsal, "in your culture, how do you express joy or longing for home?" The alien considered for a moment, then began to emit a series of melodic tones that seemed to shimmer in the air. The entire auditorium fell silent, captivated by the haunting, otherworldly song. Maggie's eyes widened. "That's it. That's what we've been missing." The night of the performance arrived, and the school auditorium was packed. Local residents mingled with international journalists and even a few curious alien tourists who had heard about the show through the intergalactic grapevine. As the curtain rose, revealing Xylox in a patchwork costume that somehow incorporated elements of all the main characters, the audience held its breath. What followed was 2 hours of the most bizarre, beautiful, and unexpectedly moving theater anyone had ever witnessed. Xylox's performance blended traditional dialogue with alien harmonics, creating a soundscape that tugged at the heartstrings of humans and extraterrestrials alike. Its multiple arms allowed for stunning choreography, and its natural bioluminescence added an ethereal quality to the Emerald City scenes. But it was the finale that truly brought the house down. As Xylox Dorothy expressed her longing for home, the alien began to sing in its native tongue. The melody swelled, and suddenly, holographic projections of distant worlds filled the auditorium. The audience found themselves on a journey through the cosmos, experiencing the universal feeling of homesickness across the galaxies. There wasn't a dry eye, or eye equivalent, in the house as the final curtain fell. The show was an instant sensation. #Oceanidisi and #ET_phone homecoming became the top trending topics globally. Critics hailed it as a transcendent exploration of the immigrant experience and a poignant reminder of our place in the vast, weird universe. Overnight, Shadow Creek became a hotspot for interstellar tourism. Alien beings flocked to the small town, eager to experience this unique blend of human storytelling and cosmic harmony. The local economy boomed as extraterrestrial bed and breakfasts popped up alongside corny souvenir shops selling "I went over the rainbow, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt" merchandise. As for Xylox, the alien found itself catapulted to international stardom. Talk show appearances, merchandising deals, and even a holographic cameo in the latest Marvel movie followed. But despite the fame, Xylox never forgot the little town that had welcomed it with open arms. In a heartfelt interview with Oprah's Intergalactic Hour, Xylox reflected on its experience. "On my world, we have a saying," it said, its scales shimmering with emotion. "The strangest soil often bears the sweetest fruit. Earth has taught me that sometimes you have to leave home to truly understand it." As clips of the interview spread across Earth and beyond, humans and aliens alike found themselves contemplating the nature of home, belonging, and the unexpected connections that can form across the vastness of space. Meanwhile, in the Nexus, Jack Harper watched the recordings of Xylox's performance with a mixture of pride and amusement. "Well," he said to the Zorax, "I guess humans aren't the only ones who can get dramatic." The crystalline being's form pulsed with what Jack had come to recognize as laughter. "Indeed, Jack Harper, it seems your Shakespeare was right. All the galaxies are stage, and all the beings merely players." As Jack turned back to the holographic display, he couldn't help but wonder what other surprising collaborations were unfolding back on Earth. One thing was certain: the universe would never be the same again. The Intergalactic Olympics. As the Galactic Exchange Program continued to reshape Earth's relationship with the cosmos, a new idea emerged that would captivate beings across the universe: the Intergalactic Olympics. The concept was born from a viral video of a Zorblaxian attempting to play basketball. The alien's elastic, boneless body allowed it to dribble the ball with unprecedented skill, but it struggled hilariously with the concept of shooting hoops. The video, hashtag Space Jam 2.0, sparked a global conversation about how different species might compete in Earth sports. Enter Kira Chen, a former Olympic gymnast turned sports entertainment mogul. With her signature blend of ambition and showmanship, Kira pitched the idea of an Olympic-style event that would bring together athletes from across the galaxy. "Imagine," she said in her viral TED talk, "a high jump competition where some competitors have wings, others can manipulate gravity, and some don't even have a solid form. It's not just about who wins, it's about celebrating our differences and finding common ground through the universal language of sport." The idea took off like a Rigelian rocket squid. Within months, Earth was selected as the host for the first ever Intergalactic Olympics, set to take place in a purpose-built stadium complex in the Sahara Desert. As construction began on the Cosmic Colosseum, sports scientists and alien physiologists worked around the clock to develop fair and inclusive events. Traditional sports were adapted, and entirely new competitions were created. The Quantum Dash, a race where participants existed in a state of quantum superposition, simultaneously at the start and finish line until observed. Psychic weightlifting. Competitors lifted increasingly massive objects using only the power of their minds or mind equivalents. Zero-G gymnastics. Performed in a massive anti-gravity chamber, this event combined traditional gymnastics with elements of space navigation. Shapeshifter showcase. Entities capable of altering their form competed to create the most impressive and functional shapes within a time limit. Synchronized swimming with actual sirens. Earth's top swimmers paired with aquatic aliens, including some whose songs could manipulate water itself. As the opening ceremony approached, excitement reached fever pitch. Alien tourists flooded to Earth in numbers never seen before, their strange crafts filling the skies above every major city. Hotels were booked solid, and enterprising humans made small fortunes renting out spare rooms to beings from across the cosmos. The night of the opening ceremony arrived, and billions of eyes and other sensory organs across the galaxy tuned in. The show began with a mind-bending display of Earth's history projected onto a dome of pure energy above the stadium. As scenes from humanity's past played out, alien athletes added their own planet's parallel histories, creating a tapestry of shared galactic experience. The parade of athletes was a spectacle unlike any other. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and states of matter glided, floated, and undulated into the stadium. The Earth team, led by none other than Kira Chen herself, received a thunderous ovation from the home crowd. But it was the lighting of the Olympic flame that truly stole the show. Instead of a traditional torch, a miniature star was carefully transported into the stadium, contained within a field of exotic matter. As it was released into the massive cauldron, it ignited with the force of a supernova, bathing the entire complex in a warm, otherworldly glow that would burn for the duration of the games. As the competitions began, the world watched in awe. Records were not just broken, they were shattered, disintegrated, and reconstructed in ways previously thought impossible. A Mercurian athlete, adapted to extreme heat, set a new record in the lava swimming event, completing the course in just under 3 seconds. The Andromeda Angels dominated the wingsuited skydiving competition, their natural ability to navigate solar winds giving them a clear advantage. Earth shocked everyone by taking gold in the telepathic debate, with a team of kindergarteners whose unfiltered thoughts proved impossible for even the most advanced psychic aliens to counter. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Controversy erupted when a Husian hive mind was disqualified from the 100-meter dash for using multiple bodies to cross the finish line simultaneously. The resulting protest saw the stadium briefly engulfed in a swarm of angry insectoids, requiring the intervention of the cosmic peacekeeping force. As the games progressed, something unexpected began to happen. Aliens who had arrived as tourists found themselves captivated by human culture. Earth cuisine became a sensation across the galaxy, with alien food critics raving about the dangerously addictive qualities of pizza and ice cream. Meanwhile, humans were picking up alien habits at an astonishing rate. Teenagers started communicating in bioluminescent pulses, much to their parents' confusion. Meditation apps now included settings for astral projection and conscious molecular reorganization. But the real breakthrough came during the closing ceremony. As athletes from across the universe gathered one last time, a strange harmony began to build. It started with the deep, resonant tones of the Jovian gas giants, joined by the crystalline notes of the silicon-based life forms. One by one, each species added their voice to the mix. Humans, not wanting to be left out, began to sing along, adding lyrics in every language of Earth. The result was a cosmic symphony, a melody that spoke of shared experiences, hopes, and dreams across the vastness of space. As the last notes faded away, there wasn't a dry eye or eye equivalent in the house. Even the most stoic of alien diplomats found themselves moved by this spontaneous display of unity. In that moment, the true purpose of the intergalactic Olympics became clear. It wasn't about who could run the fastest or jump the highest. It was about finding common ground, about realizing that despite our differences, we all shared the same universal desires for connection, achievement, and understanding. As the athletes departed and the cosmic coliseum was dismantled to be repurposed as affordable housing for silicon-based life forms, Earth found itself forever changed. The planet was no longer just a small blue marble in the cosmic ocean. It was a shining beacon of interstellar cooperation and understanding. Back in the Nexus, Jack Harper watched the closing ceremony with a mixture of pride and awe. The Zorax, its crystalline form pulsing with excitement, turned to him. "You see, Jack Harper, this is why we chose Earth. Your species has a unique ability to bring others together, to find unity in diversity." Jack nodded, a lump forming in his throat. Yeah, he said softly. I guess we're not so bad after all. As the holographic display faded, Jack couldn't help but wonder what other incredible adventures awaited humanity in this vast, weird, wonderful universe. One thing was certain, the cosmic game had only just begun. The meme that saved the galaxy. As Earth basked in the afterglow of the intergalactic Olympics, a new crisis loomed on the cosmic horizon. The Zorax, usually calm and collected, appeared before Jack Harper in the Nexus, their crystalline form flickering with urgent pulses. Jack Harper of Earth, we face a grave threat. The Void Collective, a group of entropy-worshipping beings from the darkest corners of the universe, seeks to unravel the fabric of reality itself. They believe that only in chaos can true freedom be achieved. Jack's eyes widened. That sounds bad. Really bad. What can we do? The Zorax's form shimmered with what Jack had come to recognize as grim determination. We must unite the galaxy against this threat. But traditional diplomacy has failed. We need a new approach. Jack thought for a moment, then grinned. I think I know just the thing. We need to fight chaos with chaos, controlled chaos. We need a meme war. And so began Operation Dank Matter, the most ambitious SEOPS campaign in galactic history. Back on Earth, a crack team of internet culture experts, alien linguists, and quantum memetics specialists was assembled. Their mission? To create a meme so powerful, so universally relatable, that it could unite the diverse species of the galaxy against the Void Collective. The team set up shop in an abandoned warehouse in Detroit, now repurposed as a state-of-the-art meme laboratory. Holographic displays flickered with images from across the cosmos as AI algorithms crunched data on interspecies humor and shared cultural touchpoints. Leading the charge was Zoe Zero Garcia, a 19-year-old memelord whose TikTok account had single-handedly caused the downfall of 3 Earth governments, mostly by accident. Her ability to distill complex ideas into bite-sized, shareable content made her the perfect candidate to save the galaxy. "All right, squad," Zoe announced, pacing in front of a holographic whiteboard. "We need something that resonates across species lines, something that taps into the universal experience of, well, existing." Days turned into weeks as the team worked tirelessly. They explored every avenue, from intergalactic cat videos, turns out, most species find small, furry things adorable, to abstract quantum humor, a hit with silicon-based life forms, but confusing to everyone else. Finally, after countless failed attempts and several mental breakdowns, poor Day from marketing will never look a Mobius strip the same way again. They had a breakthrough. Zoe sat bolt upright at 3 a.m., her eyes wide. "I've got it," she shouted, startling her alien colleagues. "The one thing every sentient being in the universe can relate to is being confused by the universe." The team quickly got to work, and within hours, they had created it. The meme to end all memes. A simple image macro featuring a bewildered-looking multidimensional being, captioned with the phrase, "When you realize you don't even know what you don't know." As they released it into the galactic meme-osphere, they held their breath. Would it work? Or would the Void Collective's chaos reign supreme? The response was immediate and overwhelming. The meme spread faster than a Regillian plasma storm, transcending language barriers and even the laws of physics. Species that communicated through pheromones found themselves inexplicably compelled to share it. Hive minds across the galaxy buzzed with amused confusion. On primitive worlds just discovering fire, cave paintings of the confused multidimensional being began to appear. In hyper-advanced Dyson spheres, beings of pure energy pulsed with the rhythm of the meme's caption. The Void Collective, expecting to exploit the chaos of a divided galaxy, instead found themselves faced with a united front of bemused, meme-sharing civilizations. Their attempts to spread entropy were met with a collective galactic shrug and the response, "Weird flex, but okay." As the meme's popularity peaked, something extraordinary happened. The constant sharing and resharing of the image across vast interstellar distances began to have an effect on the fabric of space-time itself. Quantum physicists dubbed it the dank matter effect, a phenomenon where the collective focus of trillions of minds on a single idea created a stabilizing force in the universe. The Void Collective's entropy weapons fizzled out, rendered useless by the power of shared confusion. Their leadership, unable to comprehend the failure of their chaos-based strategy, retreated to the far reaches of the cosmos to rethink their entire existence, according to their press release. In the aftermath, the galaxy found itself more united than ever before. The Great Meme War, as it came to be known, had brought species together in ways that millennia of traditional diplomacy never could. Zoe and her team were hailed as heroes across the cosmos. Statues of the confused multidimensional being were erected on 1,000 worlds. The Galactic Council even established a new holiday, Universal Confusion Appreciation Day. Back in the Nexus, Jack Harper watched the celebrations with a mix of pride and amusement. The Zorax, their crystalline form shimmering with what could only be described as cosmic bemusement, turned to him. "Jack Harper of Earth, your species continues to surprise us. We had not considered the strategic applications of dankness." Jack grinned. Sometimes, the best way to deal with an absurd universe is to embrace the absurdity. It's kind of our specialty. As the holographic displays showed scenes of humans and aliens alike sharing memes, inside jokes, and a general sense of cosmic camaraderie, Jack couldn't help but feel a sense of hope for the future. The galaxy was vast and weird and wonderful, but as long as beings could come together to laugh at the sheer absurdity of existence, there was hope. The Zorax's form pulsed with what Jack had come to recognize as their version of a smile. Perhaps, Jack Harper, it is not advanced technology or military might that will guide us into the future. Perhaps it is the ability to find humor in the face of the unknown. Jack nodded, a mischievous glint in his eye. "Well, in that case, wait until I tell you about dad jokes. The galaxy won't know what hit it." And so, as the cosmic meme continued to spread, bringing laughter and unity to the farthest reaches of space, the universe found itself just a little bit brighter, a little bit weirder, and a whole lot more fun. The end, or is it just the beginning of a whole new chapter in galactic hijinks?